Hello guys, welcome back onto the Dutch Couch. I've got to say, the English football, modern football, the Premier League in particular, is absolutely killing itself in terms of enjoyment, emotion, and for me, passionately, financially, for the loyal supporter. I mean, yesterday, this is so ridiculous. I saw an Everton player score a winning goal penalty at Brighton. He got booked for imitating a seagull. You can't make this stuff up. It's become so woke, it's ridiculous. I mean, you're seeing players used for political issues now. I mean, obviously they're taking the knee, whatever they was. They're wearing rainbow armbands, all this sort of stuff. As much as I believe it's a massive issue and it should be dealt with, football for me is not the place for it. The people who should be dealing with it is the people running this country on a bigger platform. Footballers sign up to play football. They shouldn't be hauled out for this, in my opinion. I don't agree with it at all. In my opinion, the apparent best league in the world, I think we've got the absolute worst officials. They are dreadful, some of these people. I mean, and I actually think they are letting the technology down. You've got the best technology in the world now in the Premier League for this VAR system. The individuals who are running it and the individuals making the decisions in the room are dreadful, absolutely clueless. And when they talk about ex-players getting involved in this and people who have played football, the opinions that I'm hearing off them on the TV, they shouldn't be anywhere near it either. I'd like to realise in other countries, they seem to be mastering this. In this country, we are failing miserably. TV companies, again, they're ruining the game here. You're getting less and less 3 p.m. Saturday kickoffs now. And when they're changing games, you've got to look at the bigger picture here. When the TV companies are picking these games and the league are changing the dates of the games, who's it affecting? It's affecting the loyal, paying supporter who has to travel up and down the country watching their team. And through their loyalty, they are being exploited. I'm sorry, they might be paying out for hotels, travel. They're losing money on this. Just because of these companies are changing times and dates on them. Who's picking up this bill? Ridiculous. Financial fair play as well is a big thing for me. I think this, to be fair, this only seems to benefit a few teams. There's a lot of teams here who seem to have different rules and they're giving out longer contracts or seeking loopholes to get around this. It's so obvious. People can see what's happening here. There's a lot of brown envelopes going on behind here in the back pockets. You're looking at Newcastle. They've got some of the richest owners in the whole of the world. They can hardly make a signing. But you've got teams spending 200-300 million at a time. It's ridiculous. All it's taken away from the game is making it less competitive. The teams who are trying to compete with the big teams, they're being held back. There's a reason for that, because they're not allowed. People don't want them to compete. They don't want things to be on more of a level playing field, Crazy. Silly things that really get on my tits. I'll be honest with you. I watch games and I'm seeing players having lovings in the tunnel before games, cuddling, kissing before the game. It's ridiculous. This is a competitive sport. On that day, I don't care if you're twin brothers playing for that team. As a fan, I don't want to see... I'm watching an Arsenal-Tottenham game. I don't want to see my players who I'm supporting cuddling the other team's players. That wouldn't have happened back in the day. That is ridiculous. And even worse, I even saw yesterday on a game, players lose a game against their rivals. They're having a laugh and that after the game on the pitch with the opposition after they've just given 3 points away and their fans have paid hundreds of pounds to get there and use their whole Saturday to get there. It's not a good look for me. I don't like that sort of shit. I mean, they're selling tickets at absolutely ridiculous prices now, these club owners, pricing out. They're pricing about the young kids and the next generation of fans. I'm passionate about that. I think that's disgusting. Fulham, I spoke about the other day on a video, selling tickets at like 160 quid and what have you. 80 quid for kids, I think it was, for the Man United game. All I saw on Twitter, or X as they now call it, was Fulham fans saying, good luck selling them, you've got no chance. Then all of a sudden Fulham came out and said, it's a sellout. It's pretty clear who is going to be in that stand. It's either going to be the tourist trade or it's going to be full of Man United fans. And this is what's happening in the Premier League. You're pricing out your own local fans. You're ending up with home ends full of away fans. It's going to cause issues, but you don't care because you're getting the ka-chings. It's all wrong. They're selling seats as hospitality. I spoke about Man United, I think it was last week or the week before. Selling seats as low budget sort of hospitality. They're just standard seats, randomly dotted around the ground. Aston Villa do the same thing. Selling tickets for ridiculous prices, throwing in a drinks voucher. No one, I'm sorry, but no one can drink 250 quid's worth of beer in an afternoon. They must be giving out bottles of Dom Perignon at the turnstile. It's ridiculous. It's eating itself up, this league. Eating it up for the fans' enjoyment. The people that matter the most. We were told for about 100 years, don't play across your own area. Don't play the ball around in your own area. Now it's the only thing, it's the meant to do thing now all of a sudden. You've got to play 30 passes before you reach the halfway line or you don't play proper football. Crazy. Crazy. I mean, 99% of these teams are nowhere near capable of playing this football. But because it's the Pep way, these mini clones, the managers who he's worked with or the ones who want to be him, are setting their team up to play this tactic when they're not capable. They're losing the possession in their own box or in their own half, conceding goals. It's so clear. It's ridiculous. We're obsessed with stats. Absolutely, totally obsessed with it. All this XG table. How many passes we're making, how many forward passes, how many sprints. The only stat that matters is how many goals you score. And I use Forest as an example again. They don't give a shit how much possession they have. Because they'll win the ball back off you. And they'll break on you with their two wide players. Put the ball in the box. Wood will knock it away. The only stat that matters is goals. We're getting too obsessed with it now. The media are too obsessed with it. Crazy. We've got average, totally bang average ex-players and coaches on every TV channel now telling players and coaches who are much, much better and experienced than them how to do their jobs. You might as well put two geezers out of the pub on the telly and telling them the knowledge that they have, or they're meant to have from their careers. I'm not hearing it on that telly. It's useless information, biased information. Especially Neville and Carragher. Absolute drivel they come out with. Club owners. I talk Daniel Levy, I think, is one who I use an example. And David Sullivan at West Ham. They're treating this club purely as a business, which I get. But they're treating the first team squad and the whole first team as a secondary. Levy in particular. He seems so proud. He's got to have the Skywalk there at Tottenham. He's got to have the F1 go-kart track. It's going to be NFL games there. That seems to be the priority. And as much as I'm not a Spurs fan, I don't really like Spurs. You've got to feel sorry for these fans here. They pay an absolute bomb to go to that ground. And when your owners are treating it like a secondary, that's not on for me. TV companies, I might sound like a right old bastard here, but TV companies are absolutely ticking so many boxes with some of these pundits they've got. They're picking them mainly because of the sex they are. Some of them are absolutely dreadful. They've not got an ounce of information that's knowledge, an ounce of information and decent knowledge that we can take on board. You see it on social media. People are posting about it. Everyone's clued up about it. They know that these people are absolutely ticking boxes. But saying that, some of the geezers are on there. Michael Owen, people like that, they're absolute fucking useless and all. About as exciting as a fucking flip-flop, some of them. Fucking ridiculous. What I don't like about modern players and managers as well, they're too media trained. It's all generic. The stuff they come out with after games. Come out and talk like you're in a pub. Talk as if you say what you actually mean. You earn enough to get fined. So come out with a bit of passion and tell us what you really think what happened if the ref was shit or VAR was wrong. It's all read off a script. It's all bullshit. We can see right through you. People who watch football, as much as a lot of people on social media and whatever talk a lot of shit, football fans are knowledgeable people. They know the game. They're passionate about it. They can see right through managers and players when they're coming off and just talking generic crap. It's all too much media training now. They're told what to say, what's going to get them in trouble, what they can get away with. It's ridiculous. I don't like this. I'm still not good for this is not about the Premier League. I'm still not up for this. All this seeding in European competitions either. All it's doing is helping the big boys again. Everything in this game now is set up to help the same 5, 6, 7 teams. Even with the League Cup, in the first round, the teams who are in Europe cannot draw each other. That's wrong. Get rid of that. If Arsenal draw Man City, so be it. Tough shit. To win that competition, you've got to beat the best. And I don't care. You should not have that in this League Cup. That's demeaned it. The replays from the FA Cup, all to help the big boys. Again, the little teams missing out on big paydays and whatever. Tamworth missed out on a big payday at Spurs. They deserve that. They worked their asses off in that game. They were denied that chance of a replay at Tottenham. Disgusting. I'm seeing in this Premier League in particular as well, and it's siphoning down to the lower leagues. I'll go to the National League and I'm seeing it there. Massively overcoaching. Overcoaching to the extreme. They're passing for the sake of passing now. Passing without substance. There's no direction. I said it in a video the other day, with Arsenal in particular. They're playing 5, 6, 7 passes to get to the same destination they could have played with a simple pass. They're not using runners off the ball. The first fault is sideways and backwards. And again, it goes back to stats obsession. How much possession can we keep? How many passes can we make? Get the ball upfield and score a goal. Arsenal in particular, it's not working, is it? Because you're not winning anything. Change it. Crazy, mate. We're losing the individuality as well in this modern game, massively. There's no street footballers now. Back in the day, the kids didn't sit on PlayStations for 8 hours a day. They was out in the park, learning skills, expressing themselves on a football pitch. There is no street footballers. They're all robots now. Any kid that really goes into an academy, any sort of football training sessions now, everything for me, I'll coach, but personally, I think everything is too structured. Sometimes chaos is good. Just let them play. Let them do what they want to do. Let them show their genius. Find some genius. Even Johan Cruyff said he trained 3 or 4 hours a day or whatever at Ajax. Then he went to play in the park or the street with his mates, and he learnt so much more playing with his mates than he did training with Ajax. Less structure, more expression. Simple as that. But there's so much more I could talk about this league. The Premier League in particular is absolutely, for me, killing itself. It's killing it for the supporters, the loyal ones who have been there for years and years, giving blood, sweat and tears for these teams. They're being shortchanged, I'm sorry, absolutely shortchanged, ripped off on every quarter. And from teams who are clubs I never really expected it from. Clubs that are classed as real classy clubs. They've lost the right to that now. Because they're treating these fans, they're not fans or supporters, they're customers. And when you start treating supporters like customers, there's something wrong. Let us know in the comments. I mean, there's so much I could talk about what's wrong with this Premier League in particular. There is some good stuff. I've got to say, I love the fact that you're seeing so many youngsters get a chance. And some of these youngsters are great players. I mentioned the VAR and stuff. Skelly from Arsenal yesterday. Unbelievable player. Unbelievable talent. Fearless. That kid's come through Howell End. He's fearless. Comfortable taking the ball in any position, under pressure in his own box. I love that side of things. But going back to the VAR, the decision yesterday, him being sent off on the edge of the Wolves box, for a trip. Disgraceful, in my opinion. Absolutely ridiculous. And I think 99% of people even said that online or on TV, football TV. They've all come out with the same. It's ridiculous. This Michael Oliver, I spoke about the officials. The big problem we've got in this country is abroad, officials are officials. They know their sort of place. They're there to do a job. In this country, it's going to be about me. So many of the referees in the Premier League are so attention seeking. It's unbelievable. And what makes it even worse, you've got these attention seekers, but the biggest attention seeker of them all, Mike Dean, they've now put on Sky Sports to ask him about his decisions his refs are making. So now he's got his ego, he's talking about them as well. 99% is backing them. And everyone else is looking, thinking, mate, you're talking shit. You're backing them for the sake of backing them just because you want to be in their camp. Talk the truth. We can see the decisions. There's no smoke without fire when these certain teams, and I'm not saying Arsenal, because Wolves in particular, I think they was the only team who voted against VAR. They get massively bad decisions from VAR. Goes against them constantly. Yesterday they got away with one with Gomez. He should have been sent off 1,000,000% straight red. He only got a second yellow. That should have been a straight red for that challenge in the second half. Crazy, the VAR. It's brilliant technology. Absolutely the best technology possible. The biggest problem is the people running it and the communication between the egos on the pitch as a referee and their crazy. I don't think it's going to change. Don't think it's going to change. But yeah, never mind. On the plus side, I've got to say, on the plus side, Tottenham have lost at home again to Leicester. So all's forgiven. I'm buzzing over that. I love seeing them crumble. They're so deluded. Oh, great. I thought Leicester might take the spanking, but that was amazing. After a crap weekend, cheered me right up. Thanks, Leicester. And bigger thanks to Tottenham. You've really done it for me today. If Colesberg done Sundays, amazing. Thanks for watching. Take care.